The routine you can do for the lead leg block in the weight room. So we're going to work on both mobility for the hamstring and that lead hip in terms of rotation. This first one, we're going to try to pull the ground together, really contract that lead hamstring, followed by relaxing deeper into position, pulling yourself deeper from the hip flexor. You can also do pulses from this position, contracting the quad. You'll feel a deep stretch on the back side of that hamstring in that lead leg. Next, for the hip 90-90s, you're going to try to lift that foot up off the ground for a 10 count, followed by driving that foot down into the ground for a 10 count. Start to open up some rotational range of motion in that lead hip. From a rotational strength or stability component, this is the hip airplanes. You're going to start with no load, just up against a wall for balance. And we're using that lead glute, that outer glute, to control the pelvis into that lead leg. We're working on the deceleration component. You can add a band here, you can add tempo, and you can do this with a cable machine as well to really overload that lead glute and that deceleration pattern. Along the same vein, this is the rotational kettlebell swing. So we're still trying to overload that lead glute to work on decelerating the pelvis and the torso with a little bit additional load, a little bit additional rotational velocity. As we move into this position, you shouldn't feel it in the low back, you shouldn't feel it in the arms, really trying to use the outer glute to stick and decelerate that kettlebell through your arm slide. So a little bit more north-south or a little bit more east-west direction with this kettlebell swing based on the actual slot that you throw with off the mount. Now working on the balance or hip stability component, getting a split stance either in bare feet or in socks, and we're working on the muscles contracting together and being able to stabilize your entire lower half in that lead foot, in that lead hip. So with a medium to heavy medicine ball, we're going to tap against the wall. You're not trying to blow up the wall here. We're just trying to work on the stability component. You can take that back foot off the ground to make it more difficult. And then two more, we have the ipsilateral cable row here. So a same-sided cable row where you're using hip rotation to initiate the movement. You can still overload this and add this into your regular lifts for the week. This is the 3D strap rotational feel. You can also do this with a couple bands looped together. The idea here is to take the arms out of it. We're just working on the overall pattern of using rotation to drive the lead leg to block properly and drive into extension. So we can add a little bit of load here, load into the backside, unload the hips, and you'll see that lead leg start to extend properly. This is a really helpful feel for guys who struggle with rotation. You can take this from the weight room, from the pre-throwing warm-up into your actual throwing drills for the day. Again, there's a lot more that goes into patterning that lead leg block, but this will address some of the mobility constraints. It will also address some of the feels and strength components that you can actually target in the weight room.